Fukushima cover-up.
You will recognize them by their fruits. It sounds crazy, but Fukushima, Chernobyl, and 3 Mile Island show why nuclear is inherently safe.
Now there were also false prophets among the people, just as there will be false teachers among you. They will secretly introduce destructive heresies.
Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves.
Thought the levels of radiation from Fukushima were virtually undetectable on the west coast of the US. We can detect them but levels far below levels known to cause miserable harm to living things. People who tell you that the Pacific has been devastated by contamination from Fukushima really don't know what they are talking about. Now there were also false prophets among the people, just as there will be false teachers among you. They will secretly introduce destructive heresies. It means that if you stood outside next to this dosimeter at the ruined Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant 24 hours a day for a year, you would receive ~9 mV/year ionizing radiation dose, which is similar to living in Finland. See my pinned tweet and stop haranguing my feed, nerd. So you accept some science based on first principles but just not science related to the biological effects of ionizing radiation. You have some blinders on. Good luck. Sign nerds everywhere, aka professional scientists. You have a personality problem. Is this how you respond to no and go away? You're worse than a nuclear shill. You're an evil nuclear shill. #Fukushima. Not everyone you interact with understand what motivates you study what you study. Then would love your opinion on 30 million on-ton bags piled up in Japan. Or was that an ill-conceived move? Watch less YouTube. Read more, talk to scientists with training in physics, chemistry and biology. Truth of the matter is that other environmental, for example air quality, and behavior choices, for example, drinking alcohol, represent much more proximate and significant threats to public health than ionizing radiation does in Tokyo and most everywhere else in Japan. Well done, Springboks. You see a lot of tweets about how the health of athletes competing in Tokyo 2020 Olympics will be in danger from ionizing radiation in the environment from the Fukushima Daiichi meltdowns in 2011. Levels present are unlikely to represent a significant health threat. The cooling effluent releases from Fukushima are controlled, monitored and inconsequential. Please don't spread fear without justification. My one-person show. Pinocchio. I'll save you tickets. Bet you can twist ingesting radioactive isotopes is actually good for you. #JTheJoker. Not that it might matter to you, but unsealed source radiotherapy has actually saved the lives of people I know and many others, so, maybe watch fewer movies and look it up. True story. #NoJoke. Forgot to mention Typhoon Hagibis respreads nuclear contamination far and wide. #Misinformation. This is typical and indicates a problem with understanding scale. All of the radioactive contamination from Fukushima Daiichi ended up in the North Pacific. Redistribution of isotopes on land might change local external dose changes in restricted areas. Take a trip in the Bering Sea where cesium-134 was detected 6 years after the Fukushima disaster. Cesium-134 is only supposed to last 2 years. Maybe read and understand what a half-life is before running for Congress. Oh, and leave the youth alone who advocate for a better world. #Fukushima Daiichi Literacy. Kinda sad when everyone is having a meltdown. When this is the meltdown people should be pissed about, carcinogenic seafood and all. Hashtag Fukushima, nonsense. The levels of radionuclides in Pacific fish from Fukushima are dwarfed by naturally occurring isotopes which account for virtually all of the ionizing radiation dose consumers experience. That dose is far below levels that cause measurable cancer risk. Hashtag science. Hashtag dumbest tweet of the day Fukushima. It means that if you stood outside next to this dosimeter at the ruined Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant 24 hours a day for a year you would receive 9 millisieverts year ionizing radiation dose, which is similar to living in Finland. Blocked him. I'll move on. At Organic Slant I worry about. Hope he has counsel. No need to worry. Don't know what you're implying. For you to deny Fukushima has 1 iota to contribute to climate change, cancer rates and more proves you have ulterior motive for the truth. Hope your students question everything, even you. You don't fool me. Really, you're alright feeding your children 1199 becquerels cesium tuna. Okay Charlie. Muted equals at Organic Slant. Watch less YouTube. Read more. Talk to scientists with training in physics, chemistry and biology. You sickos will also say nobody was affected by Chernobyl either. You guys are as sick as it gets. This is where I point out that I'm not the one who hangs on to a macabre baseless fantasy of the extinction of life on Earth owing to the small but measurable amounts of radionuclides present globally from the Fukushima meltdowns. I'm sorry there is so much fear in your life. This is largely because you get your information from people without expertise in physics, chemistry, biology and oceanography. Mostly it seems from NN News, Health Ranger and the like YouTube videos by convicted criminals and others. You continue to attack my integrity, my motivation and the same of my colleagues. The truth of the matter is that my colleagues and I have spent out careers most of our lives dedicated to better understanding the oceans to equip humankind to preserve their health. You state. You continue to attack my integrity. Then stop trolling. Go do whatever you do. If you have so much to do to help humankind, leave my channel alone. Go away. Nope. Scientists have a responsibility to push back against misinformation, whether it is people denying climate change or nonsense like flat earth, anti-vax and your extinction level event fantasy about Fukushima. The silent majority appreciates the scientific method. You don't understand. I'm pro-science, pro-fact and pro-evidence. Suggesting rain in the south of Japan contains measurable amounts of Fukushima contamination is divorced from reality. Ask a scientist. You think you know everything. You do not. The things you post, in the area of my expertise, really don't make sense. You falsely attributed my quote about Fukushima and people who believe pseudoscience about its unsubstantiated negative impact on the Pacific to Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute. This is poor scholarship. Organic Slant. In my experience, people who believe that there is a conspiracy among professional scientists to lie to the public about Fukushima and climate change also believe other false conspiracy theories. Person. Fukushima contamination has killed the Pacific. Me. Scientists have measured the contamination and it's too low to cause this. Person. Atoms are invisible so no one can really know. No comment. View this morning on my way to talk about Fukushima and conspiracy theories. People who tell you that the Pacific has been devastated by contamination from Fukushima really don't know what they are talking about. To the naysayers. If you lived 150 miles away from 3 nuclear meltdowns, and you happen to have elevated levels of uranium in your body, that's not a coincidence. Again, your attacks against me are odd. Again, your pattern of blindly, arbitrarily accepting the testimony of individuals who make movies or comment online that you don't know is odd. Radiation sickness is easily diagnosed and requires high doses to manifest. Story is unlikely. Nuclear power plants are heating up the oceans. Fukushima climate change global warming. To about the same degree people swimming in it are. Our project's results and measurements made by the international scientific community indicate the release of radioisotopes from Fukushima will have no measurable impact on the health of the marine ecosystem in the Northeast Pacific nor on public health in North America. You're blocked. You can't follow or see at JT Cullen's tweets.
Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Then the third angel sounded his trumpet, and a great star burning like a torch fell from heaven and landed on a third of the rivers and on the springs of water. 11 The name of the star is wormwood. A third of the waters turned bitter like wormwood oil, and many people died from the bitter waters. Star is wormwood. A third of the waters became wormwood, and many men died from the water, because it was made bitter.
Radiation tests taking place by Greenpeace workers in Japan in areas where the Japanese government claims that it's been decontaminated and that people can move back in. And there are hotspots all over the place. The other problem with the whole Fukushima area is it's a myth that the government can go in and clean this up.
Let me assure you, the situation is under control.